Raging Bull, or even Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. I grew up watching those movies.
Hello, Stephen. I'm Olivier from Paris.
Hey,
first question. Do people talk to you about Blade a lot still?
Yeah, they do. Certain titles, certain movies, they last forever. That one, obviously, it was like 22, 23 years ago now. And that's just one of the ones they always talk about, wherever I go, Blade, they love that movie. And, the truth is that was the first Marvel movie. And we were kind of ahead of we were ahead of the curve with that one.
It's open season on all vampires.
I always look at it as a great thing if people respond well to your work, whether it's a commercial movie or a darker kind of performance type movie like Embattled, that, I'm happy. I just don't want to work for nothing. I want people to see the work, or what's the point? I'm doing it for nothing. So, and it takes a lot out of me to do it. So I care about what I do. If I was in it for just the money, I would have had a much different career than I've had,
Yeah.
Pretty obvious. So
let's talk about Cash. It's a really strong, tricky, daring role.
He's a pretty tricky character, and it was a hard one for me to play, but it was a brilliant screenplay, written by David McKenna, who I've always been a big fan of. And his, I loved American History X. I loved Blow. I loved a lot of the films he's written. And, what I loved about this movie was really, it was a character I've never played before.
Cash!
Especially a movie set in the MMA world. I feel like for as big as the sport has become, there hasn't been that many movies on it. At least good films. There's been a lot of shit films, but maybe the only other film that was, okay was Warrior, but that was a long time ago. And also I think Embattled is like 10 times better film than that film.
And the movie Cash talks about Deftones, System of a Down, Rob Zombie. Are you yourself a rock fan, or?
Yeah, I mean, I had the whole playlist that I created for Cash. I love the Deftones. My buddy signed them back in the early '90s or whenever they got signed, and I always listened to Deftones and System of a Down while I was playing Cash or working out. I listened to a lot of Tool and just the harder, deeper rock that we don't really have anymore. It doesn't really exist. Music, for the most part, doesn't really exist because it's so fucking bad. But anyway, in all genres.
But I remember you've been in an Aerosmith video, Limp Bizkit video, when you started, like a long time ago.
Spears too. Yeah, I was in, I think, 3 music videos, and then I had enough. So I said, I'm not doing any more of these. But I was in some big ones. I mean, the Aerosmith one, I think, is still the biggest video ever on all time on MTV. And then the Britney Spears one I did was pretty big too, because that was right before she shaved her head and went crazy. I saved her in a bathtub or something. Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite sport movie?
I loved Hoosiers, with Gene Hackman. I've loved some boxing movies too, whether it's, Raging Bull or even Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. I grew up watching those movies. There's been a ton of boxing movies. Every year there's 10 more.
How in shape did you have to be for the film? Because you're very physical, you're very in shape. Was it difficult?
I was shooting True Detective still, and I was kind of very skinny, like pretty lean for that. So it was really a question of just having enough time to put the size on that I wanted to put on. I wanted to put size on my arms, my shoulders, my back. I wanted to kind of get in the best shape I could in that amount of time, and then learn the fights and jump in the cage.
Tomorrow night you die. Don't bet on it.
actu, film actu, film actu, film